Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining in for our ADT session today. I am not Silas. He's taking some time off to be with his family for the holiday. So I hope he's having a great time, but I appreciate Steve being with us. And our focus today is going to be on the new Health Protector Guard products that just came out not too long ago and how they can do. So I know Steve, you have been so good at learning all the nuances to new products when they come out or change. And I appreciate you doing this today. So I know your time is limited today. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. And I appreciate you and thank you all for being here. And I'm going to continue to let people in and monitor the chat.
Alrighty, so is it passed to me?
It is. Oh, you know what? I should allow you to share, correct?
Yes.
Hang on a minute. You may do so, sir.
All right. So can everyone see my screen okay?
I can see it. Yep,
Okay.
and thank you. Please sign into the chat for your attendance today. Appreciate that.
All right, so I got good news and bad news.
All
The
right.
good news is this new Health Protector Guard is available in Indiana. The bad news is it's not in Michigan yet, but it's coming. Okay.
Do we have an idea when it's coming?
No, but Michigan's usually pretty good about I'm surprised Michigan didn't approve it before Indiana did.
Yeah, that does surprise me, but it'll probably be maybe in the month or two.
Yep. And again, I think this product's going to be more relevant next year than it is I mean, obviously it works right now for people who don't have a special enrollment. But I think next year, especially if there are enhanced subsidies taken away, this may be an option for people who, don't qualify for a subsidy and they don't want to pay
But
the, you know, outlandish premium.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Silas mentioned this. I don't know
none of
if it's
them
at the meeting or on
give you
last
a
week's
label
call.
already
Oh,
pre-printed.
hang on. We're going to mute whoever that is. I think that's Bernard.
Okay.
Got it.
Um, United Healthcare is working with another vendor. I think he said Medical Mutual. I don't know, but it's going to be kind of an umbrella plan that can go on top of this to where if they hit a certain level in claims, this umbrella policy kicks in and basically takes care of it. So, because this plan right now doesn't have a max out of pocket, but with this new plan, we used to sell a product like this many years ago before we were Health Markets that had a product like that, and it really does take a little bit of the fear out of this product when you know if you hit a certain amount. It's almost like self-insuring, where this product will take it up to a certain point, and then after that, you've got this other plan that'll kick in. So, but what the Health Protector Guard is, it's a fixed indemnity product. This is not an ACA compliant plan. McIntyre, all right.
Oh yeah, but I just muted him.
Yeah, he going. All right.
I can
So,
unmute myself whenever.
I just muted him again. Okay, go
all
ahead,
right.
Steve.
So the biggest thing about the Health Protector Guard is, again, it's designed for two specific groups of people. The first are for people who do not have a qualifying event into the ACA. And the whole idea behind this is something's better than nothing. The second group of people is those people who maybe do qualify for an ACA plan, but they just refuse to pay the premium because they don't qualify for a subsidy. Because there are those people out there that just say, heck with it, I am not going to pay that premium. I'll just go with nothing. Well, this is better than nothing. Okay. And so one of the biggest things that makes this plan very attractive is it does have the United Healthcare Choice Plus network, which is one of the largest networks, if not the largest network in the country. There's 1.8 million providers, 7,000 plus hospitals, and the average discount is 58%. And so one of the nice things I like about this plan is on this page right here, they have these examples here of how it would actually work. And so the first one is an office visit. And what they're showing here is that the office visit was $175. But if they went to a United provider, that 175 would be discounted down to 72. But the benefit, and they have the HPG preferred 4,000, which I'll show you in a second, which would pay $100 for the visit. So basically what would happen is they would pay off the 72, and then the member would get a check for $28. Now, if they went to someone out of network, obviously the bill's 175, the plan's going to pay 100, so the patient would be responsible for 75. Okay. Let's skip down to an emergency room visit. So the emergency room visit, it's $5,700. It gets discounted down to $2,400. The plan's going to pay $500 of that, so the member would be responsible for $1,900, or if it was out of network, they'd be responsible for the $5,200. So the nice thing about this plan is it's going to pay whether they're in or out of network. It's just if they go in network, it's going to be drastically reduced. And then they have this hospital admission, where the hospital admission, 6 nights. I don't know where they get the 15,000, but this is an actual claim. So their discount was down to 6,400, but the plan would pay $27,000, and I'll show you how that works in a second. So they would pay off the 6,400, and then the member would get a check for $20,000. So again, so when you're thinking about people who don't have anything, we can't look at this as, oh my gosh, it isn't that great of a coverage. What if they get sick? We've got to look at this as these people don't have anything, and something's better than nothing. And so, like I said, the biggest thing this is going to do is just by having the plastic card, these people are going to get about a 58% discount. So again, it's a great plan that you can use when you don't have any other alternatives. Okay. Now, when it comes to filing a claim, they can present an ID card to their in-network provider, or I'm going to show you they can file a claim with United, and then United sends the benefit to them. And there'll be a reason why you would want to do that when I show you something in a little bit. But let's look at the plan. So what they did with the Health Protector Guard is there used to be 4 different hospital options and 3 outpatient options. And what they did is they took the most popular and they just combined it into 3 plans. Because that's one of the things they talked about down, I think it was down in Austin, where they just talked about, people, when you give people more than 3 choices of something, they just freeze up and they can't make a decision. And so what the company did is they just said, let's just put all this, 3 choices. You've got a select 2,000, a preferred 4,000, and a premier 5,000. And so what'll happen is if they go into the hospital for an illness or injury, it'll pay 2,000 a day, 4,000 a day, or 5,000 a day year 1. But then starting in year 2, it's 4,000, 8,000, or 10,000 a day. If they go to intensive care, they'll pay 2,000, 4,000, or 5,000 on top of what they paid for the inpatient. And then they also have a hospital admission benefit of 2,000, 3,000, just for the very first time they're admitted that year. So if I go to the hospital and I have the Premier 5,000, I'm going to get 3,000 for walking in the door, and then if I'm there for 5 days, there's another 25,000. So that's $28,000. And so when you take a hospital and then discount it and then throw $28,000 on top of it, it's going to do a pretty good job on the bill. Now, one thing they did add this year is they added an inpatient doctor visit where they'll pay $100 per day if a doctor comes in and visits them. And then they've got a $300, $500, or $1,000 per day for the emergency room. Ambulance, they'll pay $1,000 across the board. Air ambulance, $5,000. Now, for the surgical benefits, it's going to pay depending on what type of surgery they have, and I'll show you a chart here in a second. And then if it's an outpatient surgery, they have a facility of 1,000, 2,000, or 4,000. They'll pay for tests. Again, when I look at this, guys, this is not a plan designed for outpatient stuff. This is designed if you go to the hospital, you have something big. Okay.
Hey, hey, Steve, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you make that a little bit bigger?
Yep.
There you go.
How's
Thank you.
that?
Yeah.
And again, this is already on Quote Connect. So if you guys go under the fixed indemnity, you can find this plan.
So there is a question at this point when you talked about the hospital stay.
Yep.
If someone only has HPG and has a baby, will they still get the payout for a hospital stay?
I'd have to look at the exclusions on pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can look at that in there.
Okay.
And again, all these benefits are per person per calendar year. But yeah, we can remind me when we get to the exclusions to see what it does for pregnancy. I'm willing to bet if it's like most insurance plans, it's only going to cover complications. It's not going to cover a natural childbirth because insurance has never really done that unless you added a maternity rider, which those things don't exist anymore in these plans.
Right.
All right, and then you've got the oral chemotherapy. Obviously, this isn't going to do this isn't going to do a great job on chemotherapy, so that's why having a cancer plan is a big deal, or living benefits plans that can help out. And then here's where they took what they used to call the works, and now they've just popped it in there. And so you've got wellness, so they get money for a physical exam, health screening diagnostics, health screening x-rays, flu shots, child immunizations, allergy treatments, bone density, mammograms, pap smears or PSA test, EKGs. Again, guys, it's not going to pay a whole lot, but something is better than nothing. Where this plan is going to do the most good for people is actually the negotiated discount. That's what's really going to help these people out. And then again, it does, I think, pay pretty well on doctor visits. So again, you have $80, 100 or 150 for doctor visits, 100, 125, 150 or 200 for urgent care. And then if there's any kind of surgery, they'll pay a little bit more. It'll actually cover chiropractic. And then it will actually take care, it will reimburse them for some prescriptions. So $40 for brand names, $10 for generic. And so that's basically how the program works. Now, here's how the surgicals are determined. They're going to fall under tiers, and that's how much they're going to pay. Again, guys, the bottom line with this thing is, again, we just got to keep this in mind that it's designed for people who don't have anything. If people can get an ACA plan, that's where you want to start. This is for those people who don't have anything and they can't get an ACA, or they're not willing to pay for it. Okay. So that is the new Health Protector Guard. Basically, what they did is they just made it streamlined to 3 choices. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can also get telehealth put in there, RX Optum perks. You've got the nationwide savings. Obviously, the member hub is going to become very, very important for claims and all that kind of stuff. All right, so
Yep.
this policy, routine
And
baby care.
infertility treatments, Pregnancy on the other side,
childbirth.
on the
Yeah,
other.
so it's not going to cover pregnancy unless complications.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it'll cover a C-section, it'll cover an emergency, but if you just go in and have a natural childbirth, it's not going to cover that.
so Max said she actually has this policy. I hope you don't mind me sharing since you put it in the chat, and went to Beacon Health and used it. You get an not an insurance card, but you get a card, right? And you present it and they'll file the claim for you. And it worked out pretty well, right, Mac? Yeah. And then another question was, how do you check the network of doctors? There is a link actually in the brochure too that you can go to the UHC provider directory
Yep.
and find
You
your
can check
doctor.
it right on the broker portal.
Yep, right on the broker portal. There's a lot of different areas where you can search for the providers.
Yeah.
So
Now, again, this does have pre-existing clauses, which means if they've been treated for anything in the last 12 months, and there is underwriting, and I'm going to go through that in a second, but even if they get approved, if they've been treated for anything in the last 12 months, they're not going to cover it till they've been on the plan for 12 months. So again,
Mhm.
that's one of the things you gotta keep in mind with these plans are there is underwriting and there is pre-existing clauses. Okay.
Yep.
So with that being said, the next thing I want to show you is they've also enhanced what's called the guard plans. So you have the Health Protector Guard, which is a more robust plan. And then there's the guard plan. And where this plan comes in is it's basically the same thing. It's just a skinnier version of the Health Protector Guard. Now, why would you use this? Number one, pricing points. In other words, if I can't afford the Health Protector Guard, I can go to a guard plan and have lower pricing points. Or, and I just talked to Dan Biscardin about this, he sells this plan a lot with ACA or with short-term plans to kind of give them, it'll work with the ACA plans where it's kind of just going to help pay their max out of pocket. Okay,
Yeah.
so again, you've
And
got
I was going to say, Kevin Jarko made a comment a little bit earlier that this could be a nice complement to the ACA plan, for example, if they need to see an out-of-network provider.
exactly. So that's the two biggest things. It'll help pay the max out of pocket. It'll help pay the deductibles, but also if they go out of network, this solves that problem because they're going to have some sort of coverage if they're in network with United.
Mhm.
Okay. So again, what it does is it has that $4, $5, or $6,000 uh, first day admission, and then it's $100 per day. Next year it goes up to $200 per day. You still got the doctor visits. You've got a little bit more robust emergency room. You've got the ambulance benefit. It's still got some surgical benefits. Now on the Guard 4000, the outpatient stuff isn't covered, but for the 5,000 and 6,000, there's a benefit. And then you've got doctor visits. You don't have as many as you do on the Protector Guard, but I mean, think about this, guys. If you're on like a bronze and better plan and you go to the doctor and it's $50, this is going to pay you 80.
Mhm.
If you go and have that $100 copay specialist, this will reimburse you 100. And then you've got some therapy visits. Now, the Guard 400 does not cover drugs, but it does, but again, and if you're thinking about this, you're not selling this to someone who's on like Ozempic for diabetes.
Right.
Okay, they're not even going to get this, but so that's not as big a deal. But looking at this Guard 4000, this would be a nice complement to a bronze plan, instead of going up to a silver or something like that, if they're healthy. So the other thing that this provides, and I just saw this, and this was in something that came out from Health Markets. There's actually a letter that you can take to the pharmacist, and this will actually show them how to use the Protector Guard and the Optum Perks discount at the same time.
Oh.
And so it just basically, they enter the information for both cards. they get the discount from Optum Perks, and then they get the reimbursement from the Health Protector Guard. So it could be something where, again, people could make money on their prescriptions because anything that's left over, United's going to send to the consumer. So that's why if we start thinking about this as a complement to an ACA plan, because again, guys, are the deductibles going to get lower or higher on the ACA?
Oh, they're gonna go up. And I
They're
was gonna
gonna-
say, can you increase the size of this font too? Or your view? We're blind over here.
Yep.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
so I mean, this
Yeah,
is just
no, those
something
deductibles, I imagine deductibles are gonna go up.
deductibles are going to go up, max out of
Co-pays are
pockets
gonna
are going to
go
go
up.
up. I bet you co-pays are going to go up. And we all know with enhanced subsidies, premiums are going to go up. Okay. So this is a situation to where if I have this protector guard or I have the guard plan, I can take this into the pharmacy and basically show them how it works. Okay. Now,
Do they get that letter, Steve? Do they?
no, you
does
have
that-
to print it out and give it to them.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think the information about how you use both Health Protector Guard and the Optum RX, that one page you just showed, that is where, Steve?
This was actually in a health markets thing that just came out last week.
I
So
thought so. That's where I thought I remember seeing it. So Maggie was asking if we could send that. We'll make sure we send that out. And you
yeah,
can search for it on, and you probably got that in an email as well too, Maggie.
yeah, it was in a health markets daily fix sometime last week. So go back and find them, and they had a whole section on this new plan. So now here's the actual health questions for this, and you can get this on the producer world. But again, it's just typical, like we've done for short term and everything else. If they're diabetic or something, because I think yesterday Zach might have said, does the protector guard have underwriting? Yes, it does.
Mhm.
So you can go here and I print this out and I carry it with me. And if I have someone, I go through this before we even do anything to see if they can qualify for it.
Mhm. Do they ask height and weight on here, Steve? I'm trying to remember.
They don't ask it right here, but they do
think it's
ask it on
later
the
on.
application.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing that there's also a claim form. And you can get this on the protector guard, because what we were told is if you're going to use this as a complement to the ACA, you want to have your primary insurance pay the bills, and then you want to submit a claim form and have United Healthcare reimburse you. So almost you use it like we would a cancer plan or an accident plan. Go ahead and get all the Advantage Guard. Go ahead and use your insurance to pay the bills, and then get itemized bills, and then you can send them this claim form and they'll pay you. Because again, technically, if you have an ACA plan and this plan, something's got to be the primary. And so the discounts on your Ambetter plan or priority plan, those are the ones you're going to want to get. And this you're not going to get the United Healthcare discount. You're just going to get the $100 a day or whatever for what you did. But again, for those people who are worried about the higher deductibles, they're worried about the max out of pocket. Doing a guard plan is a great way to protect them from that. And then for people who have nothing, the health protector guard is what you're going to want to use for that, unless budget's an issue. Now, no matter what we do, you cannot forget to get this fixed indemnity form filled out. And this is on the Resource Center.
Yep, thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, this is huge, because this is a CYA.
Mhm.
Where they're literally stating that they do not have an ACA plan, nor do they plan to purchase one.
What's the first one say? You might have
I
to make
do
that a
have an
little bit bigger.
affordable. So if I sold a guard plan, I do have an ACA, and I understand this guard plan is so you're going to use this either way.
Mhm.
So, but again, you just make sure you have this, and then just file it. So if
And
anything ever comes back, it's like,
And this is available on the Resource Center through the e-sign platform.
Yep. So when you go to the Resource Center, because I'm going to go and run you some quotes here real quick to kind of show you what we're looking at. But if you come down to the e-sign, all right, and you go to create agreement.
Yeah.
So you got the ACA consent form. Here's the fixed indemnity selection form. And then you put their name and email, send it to them, and they'll sign it and it'll come back to you. Okay. So let's get.
So Jeff was asking, would this disclaimer be used with Medicare as well? Well, that disclaimer that Steve was just showing you was for the fixed indemnity plans.
Yeah, you don't need it for Medicare.
You don't need it for Medicare. Is that a form available in a printable format for in-person meetings?
I don't know if you can print. Can you print documents off the e-sign?
No, only after they are, filled out. But,
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
have to
I like
research
the
that.
electronic version in most cases because then it can be traced back to their URL.
Yeah, but if you are doing an in-person meeting, I'll have to research that.
I think we used to be able to have a paper one.
I think
so,
there's a paper one.
yeah. All right.
Make a note of that.
So when we go to Health Protector Guard,
Oh, you're showing us a quote.
yeah,
How old was the person you put in there?
4239 and a kid, 9-year-old
Okay.
kid. It's my John Mary example that I use for everything. All right, so the basic is 287, the enhanced is 463, and the premier is 644. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to show you, let's see what an ACA plan would be for someone that didn't qualify for a subsidy.
Taking a while.
Always does. All right, so keep that in mind. We've got the anywhere from basically 300 to 600. So when we go and look at an ACA plan, let's just do Ambetter. So look at that. Ambetter starting off at 1,000, 1,100 for these people. So I mean, you could sit there and sell the highest level, load on a bunch of subs, and you're still saving them a ton of money. Let's see what Care Source would be, because Ambetter is very expensive in my area, so
And it's
Care Source is
flip-flopped
still
around.
$894.
Yeah, it's flip-flopped around over here where Care Source is higher than Ambetter.
But I'm going to show you something.
And who knows what's going to happen next year.
Yeah. So to find this, you hit go to supplement and go to fixed benefit. All right. And I just want to see the guard 400. So I could do a Care Source, throw on this, and we're at like $1,100.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say these people actually did qualify for a subsidy. So I think I always use about 75,000. Okay.
I know, I feel like we should have music.
Yeah, they need to fix this. All right. So again, if they qualified for a subsidy, I mean, look at that, 384. So now let's look at this compared to just like a silver plan. So care source. I mean, it's still a little cheaper than a silver plan.
Mm-hmm.
So again, guys, it's just we got to learn how to get creative, because the days of the $500 deductible are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just something that can be possible, or again, we can just continue to do what we're doing by just loading it up with critical illness and all that kind of stuff. But again, it's just something for us to just think about, learn, because I think the protector guards, especially starting in 2026, are going to become very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do you think it will be more of an option if somebody doesn't have a special enrollment period? Do you think it'll be more of an option for those versus going with a short-term medical plan?
yeah, because from what we're hearing, they may extend short terms again, but that's like on the back of their bucket list right now. They're
Mm-hmm.
just not even thinking about it. Um, I think they're working on getting all the waste and fraud out of the medical. Did you see that arrest they just made for like 300
Yes.
and geez,
Yeah, that
one of
was
the biggest
crazy.
healthcare scams. They just got busted. So again, that's why and again, talking to Silas and some of the people at United Healthcare, they don't see long-term, I mean short-term being a viable option right now. It could be, but even if it does become a viable option, why not sell a short-term plan with the guard plan on it? Because again, we're not going to have short-term plans that are going to cover doctor visits and stuff like that. And what's the biggest complaint people have with that stuff? It's it doesn't cover anything because it's all going towards their deductible. And
Right.
so it's just a situation to where whatever they're going to throw at us, I think we're going to be very well positioned to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got to learn to adjust on the fly,
Yeah. So,
because for those of you new people, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You're going to have some disgruntled people this year. Be prepared. But don't take it personal. Okay.
oh, that's what we want to hear, right? We're gonna
Well,
hear this.
we
I
might as
know, but it's
well.
let's face the facts, right? Let's be
Hey guys, I'm a
prepared.
Sandler disciple. Just
Yeah.
let's hit him right between the eyes with the truth, and let's just be. I mean, I already had someone who reached out to me yesterday saying my wife read something and we're losing our subsidies July 1st, and I'm like, no, you're not,
Uh,
but you may next year.
yep, exactly.
Okay. And so we just got to be prepared. And guys, I've been doing this long enough to where, you know, this kind of stuff happens in the healthcare business. You can either fret about it, or you can be the person of reason on, hey, here's what it is. Let me show you how we can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
most people, like enrollers and stuff, their only option's ACA. And if it doesn't work, well, we can show them other things. And that's why we want to start learning these products now. But also, don't be afraid to tell these people what they really will do and what they won't do. We don't
Mhm.
have to be
We don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, we don't have to convince people to buy this stuff. We just got to let them know, look, here are your options. This is what it will do. This is what it won't do. Here's what it's going to cost. Kevin, you ever hear that before? Here's what it does. Here's what it costs. Do you want it? Yes or no?
My entire health markets career.
And it came
works,
from
doesn't it?
Mr. Cavajola. Yeah,
This is what it is. This is what it does. This is how much it costs. Do you want it or not?
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. So Steve, yeah, you have like 4 minutes left before I know you have to jump off. Are there any other questions for Steve? And I'll stay on if anybody has other questions and concerns. So. Has anybody helped somebody enroll in a Health Protector Guard product recently?
I got a quick question. Why do you have to fill out that form and say whether they do or do not have an ACA form?
Oh, the fixed indemnity form?
So you don't go to jail? Because
Because
there
they
have
gotta-
been people that have sold these types of products as comprehensive insurance, and
Yeah, it's an acknowledgement, Chase, that they understand that this is not a major medical comprehensive health insurance product, and that they are acknowledging that it is an indemnity plan, and that we have done our job to explain that.
Do you have to
there's
do that
like
for all of these indemnity plans? Or just
no,
this?
you just do it for the fixed indemnity plan. So the
Hmm.
guard, the health protector guard, you don't need to do it for like critical illness,
What about
hospitalized,
hospitalized?
anything like that.
Oh,
What
not
about-
hospitalized? Okay.
I mean, you can if you want to, but it's the protector guard where people are getting the products that can be perceived as health insurance
Mhm.
are the ones that you need the fixed indemnity form, because that's where these people, especially the people selling over the phone, that's where they get people. Again,
Yeah,
Freedom Health, US Health Advice. I mean, there's a lot of people that, you know, they've been selling these things for several years as comprehensive PPOs, and that's the language they'll use, because what's on the marketplace?
yep,
HMOs or EPOs. There are no PPOs in Indiana. I know Blue Cross has one in Michigan, but that's how these people are selling it. Hey, I've got this PPO, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, oh, a PPO. Yeah, that's what I want. And it's in fixed indemnity plan, and they don't even realize it.
yeah.
And it's
I had
not,
a gentleman who was told by a guy that this plan's going to cover $100,000 if you go in the hospital. The guy's like, well, I don't have anything. 100,000's a lot. So when he had his heart attack, what the guy didn't tell him is, yeah, they'll cover 100,000 lifetime at $1,000 a day.
Yeah,
So his $65,000 heart attack, the plan paid $3,000.
yeah. So Maggie said she's actually helped 2 clients with this, and they've really liked how it's worked for them. And Michelle said, you know, she comes out and flat out says, this is not health insurance. And she tells them right out. So you're very, very direct when you are presenting this to your client. Hey, Cav, have you ever seen the insurance card for this product?
Yeah.
Which it will say right down there.
Well, Max got it right there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the
It does not say anything like that though, Michelle. I get what you're saying, but this one does not say that this is not insurance or anything like that on there. It just has all the copay
All
or
the-
the reimbursement amounts on the front.
Okay.
what's that form called again?
It's the fixed indemnity.
Okay. Selection form?
Yeah, selection form. Yep.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
we already have some sold, if we already sold some HPGs without having them sign this consent form or acknowledgement form, do we need to go back and have them do it?
I would. Hey, we got a new form.
Yeah.
Hey, just want to put it on file. It's just to protect both of us.
Yep. We just
They'll
need
be
to
okay with
make
that.
sure we're updating your records and have this on file. Yep. Great. Well, any other questions for Cav before he jumps off? He's the guru in this product.
I don't really have a question. I just want to make a comment that the more I see this in use, because we do sell a decent amount of this, like I see this working for people. I don't want to, this is being recorded, I know, but like better almost than people are used to insurance working. I do think that once we get this cap in place, that this could be a leading product. Simply because people are used to, whether you're on ACA or short term, you still get a negotiated network discount, right? Like everybody gets that. And then they get their full bill. Well, this plan, you get the discount, plus they're gonna pay a portion of that bill for you. So for the small things, for the regular things, even for the hospital stays, I see people actually telling me this works better than their insurance. And so if we can figure out a way, like Cav was saying, when we get this like cap product, I don't know, Cav, do you know what they're gonna set the max at per occurrence?
I don't.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I just wanna make sure this is not like a fly-by-night product. I really feel like this is going to be a major player for years to come. Because I think people will actually like prefer this type of a plan if it keeps rolling like this. So, yeah.
Well, and we haven't really run with this, but a lot of brokers nationwide who've been selling short-term plans for years have been selling this in conduct to the tri-term.
Yeah.
You know, and so whatever they end up doing with the short-term plans,
Mhm.
I mean, you think about selling someone a short-term plan for if they go back to 1, 2, 3 years and then throw in this guard plan with that. I mean, we got to really start paying attention to that because it is, you know, and that's, and I'll take responsibility, and I think Silas will too, is I think one of the things that we have done is we've always tried to get people the cheapest amount of health insurance so we can sell the other stuff. But I had a long conversation with Dan Biscardin last week, and he's been selling this, and John Jacoby, who was the #1 sales team in the country last year, and it really does help people out by putting this with a high deductible plan because it really gets these people to feel like they have really good coverage.
Mhm.
Because I think Tanya, you've used this before where it's complemented what you've done, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I just had a high deductible ACA plan and I had this along with it. And I had a torn meniscus surgery done and I was only out $45.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, you
So
know,
it
when we
paid
really
everything.
think about this kind of stuff, it's like we think of cancer, heart attack, and stroke, but how often does that really happen where if we can start helping people with the day-to-day stuff, it's and again, we've for those of us who sell Medicare, and Kevin, you can attest to this. When you sell a Medicare Advantage and they use an Advantage guard and they get paid,
Mhm.
not only do not they don't leave you, that turns into a referral frenzy. And I'm starting to think this way that maybe I'm going to start showing this with the ACA. Again, I'm going to let the people choose whether or not they want it. But if some people do that and all of a sudden they get reimbursed and they start making money in situations, guess what that's going to do? It's going to keep them stuck to me and it's going to turn into a referral machine.
For
So,
those of us in Michigan, this is probably a bigger deal, just because our short-term medical plans are capped at 4 months each. And every time you redo it, you have to change to a different company and you have to go through the medical questionnaire screen. So
correct.
this, you can do it one and done and not even worry about the STM and you're on
Yeah.
your way.
Yeah, I agree. So,
Mhm.
guys, I got to head to my financial planner, so
Yep.
I will I'll see you guys.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you, Cav. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing really how this works out for everybody. It's definitely a viable option for a lot of folks. And it's just a matter of being a student of our own business and knowing this product. So you can find all that information also on the UH1 portal, on the brochure. So, and I will follow up and see if there's a paper version that you can print off of that fixed indemnity verification form. Great.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Steve.
Yep, bye-bye.
I'll stay on a few more minutes if people have other questions.
We can stick on too. Somebody has something.
Thank you, Kevin.
Mhm.
Yeah. Any other questions, you guys?
Hey, Sonia,
Yes.
I just sent that form to myself
Mhm.
and I'll just white out my portion of it, and then just that way I've got a blank copy that I can use.
Okay, and
This
like I
is
said, though, I'll make sure we also look for a plain one though, just to make sure it's compliant.
yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right. Anything else we can help you with today? Kevin and
Sandra, I was wondering about the HPG 4000 plan.
Mhm.
Now that's like the lowest plan. Is that the plan that you use the most with the ACA plans? Or some of the more expensive ones, I believe it was like the 5,000 one. Would you combine that with an ACA plan, or is it really just the
Well,
consumer preference?
I think it's the consumer's preference,
Okay.
and also because, just depending on what plan they're picking for their ACA and how would that mesh,
True.
right? And also
Okay.
understanding, their budget. So
Okay.
there are things on the 4,000 plan that are not going to be reimbursed compared to the 5 or 6,000.
Okay.
I do want to
So,
say too, he didn't show this today, but there is a guaranteed issue version of this plan. It's called, I think it's just called GI, health guard, hospital guard GI, I think is what
yeah,
it's called.
hospital guard GI, I think it is.
So if you have somebody that is sick, they can't qualify, obviously it's gonna be a little higher price point,
Mhm.
and it is skinny down even more. But I put the GI on several people, if they have diabetes, if they have, something and they really would like some extras, but they don't qualify for anything, there are GI products out there.
And with the GI product,
Guarantee
Kevin,
issue is what that stands for.
not the GI Bill. No.
Yeah.
With guaranteed issue, are there also still those same exclusions for the pre-existing conditions?
I believe so, yes.
I think so too.
For the
So,
12 months, but it really helps.
and 12 months, that's actually good, right? I mean, because there are other products out there that it's a total exclusion, no matter
Mhm.
what. So, yeah.
But yeah, just get on and look at the brochure, read the conclusions, but I just wanted you to know there was a GI product out there.
Good to know. Thanks.
And
Other questions?
sorry, one more thing. And you wouldn't use this with Medicare Advantage plans, right? This is just for under 65.
Kevin, what's the issue age
Right.
on this?
I think the other ones are issued, the Health Protector Guard is up to 65, so you can't even put them on.
Yeah, you can't even put, yeah.
But yeah, you'll use Advantage Guard. Think of this as almost the Advantage Guard of the ACA world. But the Advantage Guard will be the over 65 once you get there.
Other questions? Great. If not, we'll end a little bit early, give you the gift of time, but I hope this was helpful for you. Gave me some more insights into this product. I've only actually helped a couple clients enroll in this plan. Not the newest version though. So I'm anxious to see how this will play out for some of our ACA clients. Probably be a better option. Okay. Well, I appreciate you all being on today. Thank you, Kevin, and for sticking around and answering some of those questions too. Thank you to everybody for chiming in. Love the questions, and don't hesitate to reach out if you guys need anything. All right. Take care. Have a great holiday.
Thanks, Sandra.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Sandra.
Oh, you're welcome, Chase. Bye-bye.